I'm Jack from Jack Review Stuff, and this is the Fuji XT4 ISO test. I'm starting at 1/100 shutter speed, f9, and at 640 ISO. Let's check the ISO performance. ISO 800. ISO 800, nice and clean, yeah? ISO 1000, ISO 1000, ISO 1250, ISO 1250, ISO 1600, ISO 1600, ISO 2000, ISO 2000, ISO 2500, ISO 2500, this is on Flog, ISO 3200, ISO 3200 on Flog, ISO 4000, this is ISO 4000 on Flog, Fuji XT4, ISO 5000, ISO 6400, it looks very clean on the screen, but we don't know how it looks like on a computer, ISO 8000, ISO 10000, wow, 12800 ISO on a Fuji XT4, and on the screen it looks very clear on Flog, but we'll only find out on the computer. I'm Jack from Jack Review Stuff, and this is my Fuji XT4 ISO video test. I am on Fuji XT4, shutter speed 1/100, f9, ISO is 200. This is on standard Provia film simulation. ISO 250, ISO 320, ISO 400, ISO 500, ISO 640, ISO 800, ISO 1000, ISO 1250, ISO 1600, ISO 2000. In case you're wondering, the focus point is on the D. Yep, focus on the D. ISO 2500, ISO 3200, ISO 4000, ISO 5000, ISO 6400, ISO 8000, ISO 10000, 12800 ISO. Focus point on the D. On the screen it looks quite clear, but we have to check on the computer. Oh, 225,600 ISO. It still looks clean on the screen. Check on the computer. Oh, let's go higher than that. Okay. Next is Eterna Pro. I'm Jack from Jack Review Stuff, and this is my Fuji XT4 ISO test. Shutter speed 1/100, f9, and ISO 200. This is the Eterna profile. ISO 250, ISO 320, ISO 320, ISO 400, ISO 400, ISO 500, ISO 500, ISO 640, ISO 640, ISO 800, ISO 800, ISO 1000, 1000 ISO, ISO 1250, ISO 1250, ISO 1600, ISO 1600, ISO 2000, ISO 2000, ISO 2500, ISO 2500, ISO 3200, ISO 3200. This is also a microphone test. Microphone is set to -7 dB. ISO 4000, ISO 4000 on internal profile. ISO 5000, ISO 5000, ISO 6400, ISO 6400, ISO 8000, 8000 ISO, oh my god, 8000 ISO, still looks clean on screen. ISO 10000, ISO 12800, it still looks clean on the back of my camera. How does it look like on a computer? I have no idea. ISO 25600, it actually still looks clean. No, it doesn't. It looks a bit noisy on the back of my screen. We'll check it on a computer. This is Velvia. ISO 200, and shutter speed 1/100, f9. This is .264, all intra. ISO 200, ISO 250. This is Velvia. ISO 320, ISO 320, ISO 400, ISO 400, ISO 500, 500 ISO on Velvia, 640, ISO 640 on Velvia, ISO 800, this is Velvia ISO 800 on XT4, ISO 1000, 1000 ISO on Velvia simulation, ISO 1250 on Velvia, ISO 1250, ISO 1600 on Velvia, sorry about my annoying voice, ISO 1600 on Velvia, ISO 2000 on Velvia, ISO 2000 on Velvia, ISO 2500, ISO 2500, ISO 3200, ISO 3200, ISO 4000, 400 ISO, ISO 400, ISO 4000 on Velvia, ISO 5000 on Velvia, ISO 5000 on Velvia, ISO 6400 on Velvia, ISO 6400 on Velvia, ISO 8000 on Velvia, ISO 8000 on Velvia, ISO 10000 on Velvia, ISO 10000 on Velvia, ISO 12800, ISO 12800 on Velvia, and just for fun, ISO 25000 on Velvia. It still looks clean until 12800. This is Artesia soft film simulation, ISO 200, ISO 250, ISO 250, ISO 320, ISO 320, ISO 400, ISO 400, ISO 500, ISO 500, ISO 640. This is ISO 800, ISO 800 on soft Artesia simulation. ISO 1000, this is ISO 1000. ISO 1250, ISO 1250, ISO 1600, this is ISO 1600 on Artesia S soft. Yes, it's very tiring. ISO 2000, ISO 2000, ISO 2500, ISO 2500, ISO 3200, ISO 3200, ISO 4000, oh yeah, ISO 4000, still looking clean. ISO 5000, ISO 5000, ISO 6400, ISO 6400, ISO 8000, ISO 8000, 10000 ISO, ISO 10000, ISO 12800 on Velvia soft Artesia, no Velvia, Astria soft, 12800, and still looks clean on my screen, on my camera screen. 25600 ISO, oh my god, what am I doing? Fuji XT4, this is a classic chrome film simulation ISO test. Shutter speed 1/100, f9, ISO 200, ISO 250, ISO 250, ISO 320, ISO 320, ISO 400, ISO 400, ISO 400, ISO 500, 500 ISO classic chrome, ISO 640, yeah, ISO 800, ISO 800 classic chrome, ISO 1000, ISO 1000, ISO 1250, ISO 1250 classic chrome, ISO 1600, ISO 1600, ISO 2000, ISO 2000, ISO 2500, ISO 2500, ISO 3200, ISO 3200, ISO 4000, ISO 4000, I'm so tired, ISO 5000, ISO 5000, ISO 6400, ISO 6400 on classic chrome, ISO 8000, ISO 8000 on classic chrome, ISO 10000, 10000 ISO on classic chrome, ISO 12800, still looking clean on my screen, on my camera screen, classic chrome, ISO 2000, ISO 2500, 25600, still looking good on my camera. How's it like on the computer? Pro negative high film simulation. ISO 250, ISO 320, ISO 320, ISO 400, ISO 400, ISO 400, ISO 500, ISO 500, ISO 640, ISO 640, ISO 800, ISO 800, ISO 1000, ISO 1000, ISO 1250, ISO 1250, ISO 1600, ISO 1600, ISO 2000, ISO 2000, ISO 2500, ISO 2500, ISO 3200, ISO 3200, ISO 4000, ISO 4000, ISO 5000, ISO 5000, ISO 6400, ISO 6400, ISO 8000, ISO 8000, ISO 10000, ISO 10000, ISO 12800, ISO 12800. It's still clear on my camera screen. ISO 25600. I'm seeing some noise on my camera screen. Pro negative standard. ISO 200. ISO 250. ISO 250. ISO 320. ISO 320. ISO 400. ISO 400. Pro negative standard. Film simulation. ISO 500. ISO 500. ISO 640. ISO 640. ISO 800. ISO 800. ISO 1000. ISO 1000. ISO 1250. ISO 1250. ISO 1600. ISO 1600. ISO 2000. ISO 2000. ISO 2500. ISO 2500. ISO 3200. ISO 3200. ISO 4000. Oh yeah, ISO 4000. ISO 5000. ISO 5000. ISO 6400. ISO 6400. ISO 8000. ISO 8000. ISO 10000. ISO 10000. ISO 12800. ISO 12800. ISO 25600. Oh yeah. This is classic negative. Classic negative film simulation. ISO 200. ISO 250. ISO 250. ISO 320. ISO 320. ISO 400. ISO 400. ISO 500. ISO 500. I'm so tired. ISO 640. ISO 640. ISO 800. ISO 800. ISO 1000. ISO 1000. ISO 1250. ISO 1250. ISO 1600. This is ISO 1600. ISO 2000. ISO 2000. ISO 2500. ISO 2500. ISO 3200. ISO 3200. ISO 4000. ISO 4000. ISO 5000. ISO 5000. ISO 6400. ISO 6400. ISO 8000. ISO 8000. ISO 10000. ISO 10000. ISO 12800, and it still looks clean on my screen, camera screen. ISO 25600. There's some noise here. Eternal Bleach simulation. Yes, Bleach bypass. ISO 200. Let's go. ISO 250. ISO 250. ISO 320. ISO 320. ISO 400. ISO 400. ISO 500. ISO 500. ISO 640. ISO 640. ISO 800. 800 ISO in Eternal Bleach bypass. ISO 1000. ISO 1000. ISO 1250. ISO 1250. 1250. ISO 1600. ISO 1600. ISO 2000. ISO 2000. ISO 2500. ISO 2500. Eternal Beach bypass. ISO 3200. ISO 3200. How's the noise? ISO 4000. ISO 5000, ISO 5000, ISO 6400, ISO 6400 on Eterna Bleach bypass, ISO 8000, ISO 8000, ISO 10000, ISO 10000, ISO 12800, ISO 12800, ISO 25600, ISO 25600. This is the Acros film simulation. ISO 200, ISO 250, ISO 320, ISO 320, ISO 400, ISO 400, ISO 500, ISO 500, ISO 640, ISO 640, ISO 800, ISO 800, ISO 1000, ISO 1000, ISO 1250, ISO 1250, ISO 1600, ISO 1600, ISO 2000, ISO 2000, ISO 2500, ISO 2500, ISO 3200, ISO 3200, ISO 4000, ISO 4000, ISO 5000, ISO 5000, ISO 6400, ISO 6400, ISO 8000, 8000 ISO, 10000 ISO, ISO 10000, ISO 12800, ISO 12800, 25600 ISO. Wow, it looked clean at 12800, but 256, nope, blur already, not blur, noisy. This is the monochrome test. This is not Acros, it's not the same thing, even though they're both black and white. ISO 200, ISO 250, ISO 250, ISO 320, ISO 320, ISO 400, ISO 400, ISO 500, ISO 500, ISO 640, ISO 640, ISO 800, ISO 800, ISO 1000, ISO 1000, ISO 1250, ISO 1250, ISO 1600, ISO 1600, ISO 2000, ISO 2000, ISO 2500, ISO 2500, how's the noise? ISO 3200, ISO 3200, ISO 4000, 4000 ISO on black and white, not Acros. It's completely different. ISO 5000, ISO 5000, ISO 6400, ISO 6400, ISO 8000, this is at 8000 ISO, 10000 ISO on Monochrome, not Acros, 10000 ISO, 12800 ISO, still looking good on my camera, 12800 ISO, 25600 ISO, yeah, it's noisy. This is a Sepia noise test on the Fuji XT4 film simulation. ISO 200, ISO 250, ISO 250, ISO 320, ISO 320, ISO 400, ISO 400, ISO 500, ISO 500, ISO 640, ISO 640, ISO 800, ISO 800, ISO 1000, ISO 1000, ISO 1250, ISO 1250, ISO 1600, ISO 1600, I'm so tired, ISO 2000, ISO 2000 on Sepia, ISO 2500, ISO 2500, ISO 3200, ISO 3200, ISO 4000, 4000 ISO on Sepia film simulation, ISO 5000, ISO 5000, ISO 6400, ISO 6400, ISO 8000, ISO 8000, 10000 ISO, OMG, 12800 ISO, still looking good on my camera, 25600, I see noise now. This has been all the film simulations on the XT4, I'm so tired. Subscribe, please. FujiFilm XT4 is the best. Hashtag FujiFilm for life.